According to footage from Russia's defense ministry, one of its drones in Syria shows Islamic State forces moving vehicles close to mosques and residential areas in an attempt to protect them from air attacks. The defense ministry said it had struck 12 more Islamic State targets on Tuesday and that militants had begun to move their equipment into residential areas for protection. Meanwhile, NATO and Turkey expressed their concern over what they claim is a fresh violation of Turkish airspace. Here is teleSUR's Hazem Abdullah with more.
For the second time in 2 days, Turkey summoned the Russian ambassador on Tuesday to protest against what it said was another breach by Russian warplanes of its airspace. The Russian response was that the first violation lasted only a few seconds and was the result of bad weather, and they were studying the allegations of a second violation.
The Turkish allegations about violations of their airspace are comical. The Russians did not hide the fact and said it did not exceed 5 seconds, while Turkey, which has been the main source of financing of terrorism for the last 5 years, seems oblivious to the fact that it constantly violates the sovereignty of an independent state.
For its part, NATO said that the incursion of the Russian aircraft into Turkish airspace over the weekend doesn't seem purely an independent error. NATO Secretary General Jens Stoltenberg said Russia had not provided any real explanation for entering Turkish area twice, and this was unacceptable. Analysts see this as an attempt to put pressure on Russia in order to downplay the Russian achievement in such a short time.
The United States and its allies, such as NATO and Turkey, are trying as much as possible to portray Russian airstrikes as a failure, which have not been able to achieve their goals, especially if they exposed coalition forces. Because in just a week, Russia has been able to destroy the control centers and the gatherings of terrorists, which is something the coalition forces have failed to do in all these months.
Russian fighter jets carried out a further series of raids targeting ISIS sites on the city of Palmyra and its suburbs. The Syrian military confirmed that these raids have resulted in the destruction of 20 transport units and 3 weapons stores belonging to the Islamic State extremists. Hazem Abdullah, teleSUR, Syria.